Yeah, because like Ryan said, then he tends to do a lot of the research, kind of stalks, gets his baby reindeer out and stalks our
I
guests.
call it detective work, but yes, basically becoming what's she called, Martha or something like that.
Martha, mate.
Yeah, I am Martha
I
when it
haven't
comes
watched
to
it
it.
yet.
Yeah. No, shit, okay, no.
Have you watched
no,
it?
Yeah, I watched it. No more.
Nah.
Won't spoil it.
Are you going to watch it?
I am going to watch it, yeah. I've been mixed things. I've heard people say, oh, it's really good, and then people are like, no, it's psychotic, so I'm like, oh.
Well, yeah, it's a very good mixture of both. Like, psychotic. That'd make me watch it more than someone saying it's good.
It is really good. It's a bit heavy, but it's good as well because it's just different. Have you seen that they've actually found the real Martha?
Yeah, Piers Morgan interviewed her.
Have you seen the interview?
Mm.
Fucking mad, that.
Well, good. But yeah, like, because obviously in real life she's not called Martha, she's called something totally different.
Is she?
And they like disguised her identity, but then people found her like straight away because they was using her kind of real tweets in the series, and people had just basically gone on Twitter, typed in certain things, and then they found tweets, and then they put two and two together, and they both kind of look similar. Like they made the actress look exactly like her in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the way they dress and all stuff like that.
Wasn't the actor who played the guy, wasn't he the actual person?
Yeah. Is it Richard Gadd or something it's called? Never heard of him, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, it was him. Like, he actually acted it out and relived all that. Anyway, no more spoilers, mate. Watch it, and then have to message us about when you watched it and tell us what you thought.
In today's episode, we've got Louis joining us, who is the founder of Clear for Men. So, Louis, could you just tell us a little bit about Clear for Men?
Yeah, so it is a men's mental health awareness skincare brand, and it's centered around encouraging men to take 5 for their mental health.
Oh, nice. So, what do you mean? Like take 5? Is that kind of?
So I named the facial cleanser Take 5 to actually be that reminder. So every time you're in the bathroom and you see it on the side, like, that's your reminder to take 5. I think during lockdown, I became very sort of lost and overwhelmed, and that was a great way for me to sort of take 5 for myself. And what I think I realized is a lot of people go about their day-to-day lives and forget that key element, which is self-care and looking after ourselves, because we're so busy with work and kids and trying to have a social life and everything in between. But we actually do forget sometimes to just stop and take 5. So I want to be that reminder for men to just take 5 for themselves.
Yeah, because I bet it can be interpreted in sort of like many ways, and it can be like individual to that person what that take 5 means. Like take 5 could be a literal sense, like 5 minutes of just complete silence, or they could try and like recenter themselves and be present at whatever they're doing. So I quite like the sort of like ambiguity of it. Though it's not like take 5 to do your skincare, it's take 5 to just do whatever you feel is necessary for you. I really like that.
Yeah, and thank you. And that's the thing as well. Like I do that a lot with my content as well. Like it's more about, like, I don't post content that's just solely on skincare. I post content that's predominantly about self-care and looking after ourselves, because that is ultimately the goal. And that's the message, is to spark conversation around mental health, and also just remind you to take 5 regardless. Do you know what I mean?
So when was the initial idea to create a skincare brand?
2021. So it was like New Year-ish, 2020. I had a lot of time. I just thought, do you know what? I'm just gonna. It was one of those things. So it was a mixture of 2 things. I had a lot of time. I was suffering a lot of mental health, and I think there was a few things that, like you said, with the Take 5 concept, there were a few things that I did to help me take 5. One of them was obviously my skincare. I found it was a great way for me to like start my day and have a routine. I think that was something I was definitely missing, especially during lockdown. Another thing as well was like cooking with my brother. So I felt like me and my brother bonded very well over like things like cooking together. And they were like things that I realized that helped me and my development and with my self-care journey. So it was New Year, a few days before New Year's Eve, and I was just like, I'm going to make it a New Year's resolution to create something that's about providing a well-being experience. So that happened in 2020. I founded the company itself in 2021 in February, and then I launched in August 2022.
Wow, that's so good.
Thank you.
I'll just go about making like a skincare brand and shit like that, because I don't know the first thing about skincare, because I've spoke to my partner in the past, like, because I suffer quite bad with psoariasis and stuff,
Okay.
and I get like quite flaky bits sometimes flare up on my skin, like around my nose and stuff like that. And me being your typical bloke, I just go to the shop and buy Nivea moisturiser tub, and then I just get that and smear it on my face. And I always say to my partner, like, do you reckon that'll like work and do that? And she always says, like, no, like, you need to buy like cleansers and toners, and then you need to like cleanse and then tone and then moisturise, and you need to buy better ones. But to me, as a bloke, like, I just don't know all that shit. So
it's so funny you should say that, right? Because I literally had a message from someone earlier that said the exact same thing. They're very much into their skincare, and they were like, education is key, because a lot of men don't know what key ingredients are good for what types of skin. And I think like going back to what you said about like how I actually started, like I look at it now and I think one thing that I actually think helped me through in lockdown was genuinely starting Clear for Men, because it gave me a direction and passion. So I had something that just took my mind away from everything else, and I had like, this was I was like, I'm making a difference, and it's also taking my mind away from everything else. So like, I was just full speed ahead. I loved it. I loved every second starting out.
Love that.
So like when I was actually looking at like ingredients and manufacturers and all this, that, and the other, like, it's almost like a blur to me now, because I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I can't believe like how I managed to do it. Like I look at it and it's crazy, but it was a lot of research, a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of trying to figure out what I can do differently to make me stand out from the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because I think there is such a demand for male grooming and male skincare, but it's about making it different. Like you just said, making it different from just going to the shop and grabbing something that's £3 or £4 that might not necessarily work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So go on then, Louis.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, go on then, Louis. Is your pitch? Why is yours different? Go on. Tell everyone.
How long we got? I spoke to the same guy earlier. I got a few key ingredients in mind. So we got like niacinamide in there as well. We got argan oil, we got aloe vera, we got provitamin B5. Got a very nice, subtle citrusy scent as well. So This is actually quite a good thing as well, that a lot of people say to me that, so for me, when I started, I'm a big fan of like having like a very natural scent in things. So I love a natural scent. And that was definitely what I was going for. And people then come to me and say, this cleanser smells so good. It actually, the concept of Take 5 works so well, because they spend such a long time actually smelling the cleanser. So when they're not using it and they smell, like, I'm like, like in my head, I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I was going for. So it's crazy how like in my head, it's like, that to me was just like when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely doing something right.
That's mega.
Thank you.
So is Take 5 like the strapline kind of for it? Because it's Clear for Men, isn't it, the brand? Or
do you know what? It's so funny as well, right? Because I actually made a video a few weeks ago. It got like almost like 30k views on Instagram.
Shit.
Because I literally get asked all the time, like, are you called Clear for Men or are you called Take 5? Or if I have people will buy for someone, they go, oh yeah, I got this Take 5. And then I worry. Then I think, oh my goodness, people think I'm called Take 5 as a business. But I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, oh no, have I done it wrong? But no, Take 5 is the cleanser name. That is
right, okay.
Yeah, so the actual brand name is called Clear for Men, and then we've got the cleanser itself is called Take 5. I think I'm speaking to a lot of people about this as well. I think I might actually create a range of products that will be called the Take 5 range. I suppose.
Nice.
I don't know how I'll do it, but I don't know.
Would you have to have 5 products then? Oh,
well, this is a good thing, right? Because
fucking hire him.
What was it? Sorry,
I said hire him. Get him in your fucking marketing team. Fucking genius, innit?
yeah, technical. They call me the Guardiola of skincare.
So it's funny because I get it a lot. I get a lot of people ask me. So obviously you'd have seen that I've only got one product at the moment. I say only one, but like even that in itself is like. I still think that's a very big milestone to get a product on the market.
Oh man, that's unreal.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of people do ask me. They say, "Oh, why have you only got one product?" I'm very much proud of starting with one because I feel as though it's a great way for me to spend a lot of time focusing on one product, testing it, researching, sampling,
100%.
making it align straight with Clear for Men and exactly what I'm about. And then building the range to align with that rather than having 6 or 7 run-of-the-mill products that don't align with my branding, but I've done it to say that I've got 7 products in my brand. And I wasn't about that because to me, it's the longevity of it all. So, and I think that's the thing as well I've learned over time is like patience is key. So I'm very much excited for what the future brings, definitely.
Oh, you should be. I've just got your Instagram up here, mate. I'm just scrolling down it. I've just got to say, your social game is strong, mate. I'm such a fan of all these videos. It's sick.
Thank you. But, so it's funny, right? Because I always look at it and I genuinely goes through my head probably like 6 times a day thinking, do I look like a dick in all my videos? But it's sometimes like I think I've realised over time it's like I've become comfortable doing it now. So I'm more comfortable being like that on camera. And also it resonates with people more because I feel like I'm actually speaking to I'm speaking to people. Like I could post 6-7 times about my cleanser, but like to me it's sending the wrong message. Like to me it's not like to me this isn't about being a skincare brand. It's about encouraging you to take 5. So I like and I like the community that I've built because the community they're so supportive with that as well. They love the element behind the take 5 and they actually love to see me win as well. So I think posting my personality almost helps me so much in that respect.
No, it absolutely does. Like you said, it is more relatable for the customer when they see that. And like you said, similar to what you just said then, myself and Ryan felt the same when we started this podcast. We used to feel like, oh, maybe people are going to think we're fucking gimps and stuff, you know, like when we're just being daft and chatting shit. Yeah, whereas now it's just natural. We just jump on and we just talk. To be fair, we was on a podcast, someone else's podcast the other day. And it's only like the second time we went on someone else's podcast, and I said to Ryan after it, I was like, I got fucking nervous going on someone else's, mate.
It is nerve-wracking.
It's like you don't kind of know what to expect, but quite a lot of feedback we get is that we're quite good at kind of easing like the guest in, and they just feel like just chill and just a fucking casual chat and shit like that. But
that's the thing as well. Once it's like me, I think that's the thing. What I've realised as well is like I've done quite a few things like this, but there's been like interview based. Like whether it's in person or whether it's online. So I've become more comfortable doing these kind of things as well, which is good. Which is beneficial for me. And also like you said, it comes in like the conversation just flows. Just flows naturally. Do you know what I mean? Because I know when I first did my first few podcasts, I was shitting myself. I was literally like, I was like, I'm nervous for this because I'm a grade A overthinker. I overthink everything like so much. Like I will sit there tonight and I'll go, did I say something on that podcast that genuinely I'll be like, what? Like it's crazy, honestly.
Have you set yourself up your own little recording so you can listen to just yourself back later?
I know. I should have done that.
I was actually going to ask. I'm just like stalking the shit out of the website now. So what I say first of all, like I'm a designer and stuff, and I was sort of say like the brand itself and everything in the website is all like amazing, mate. Like you've done such a good job with that. Much. But I was going to say, I'm asking loads of questions because I'm just fucking mad interested. But
go for it.
I've got 2 here, but that's like the quicker one first. So there's a button. There's buttons here where you can press like subscribe, save. One-time purchase or try for free. What's a try for free? Is that just like a little pot that they send out and you can try it?
Yeah, so I get a lot of feedback. So I think because I've only got one product as well, that also And I get a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I'd love to try it." So, and I had that quite a lot. And to me, this was like, I now realise that was market research in itself. But I was just not looking at it at all. I was just completely like, it was just going over my head. But I had so many people saying to me that, "Oh, I'd love to try it, love to try it, love to try it." And I was like, then why don't I just let them try it? And I also know there's a lot of skepticism when it comes to skincare.
Yeah.
People don't know if it's going to work for them. So, and I also agree with that. I also think I would understand how it feels on the receiving end, going, should I spend that much money? Should I buy this? What if it doesn't work for me? Or if they can just literally just try it and just pay for shipping and get a 30 milliliter sample. And a 30 milliliter sample is probably going to last you about a week or 10 days. So, and that's like 1/8 of the size of the actual cleanser. So if they enjoy it and they like it and they work, and I guess it works well for their skin, that's going to last them 8 times. A full bottle will last them 8 times the size of that sample. Sorry. Yeah. So then it's like, it's a win-win for them as well. So they've not lost out on trying it.
I was going to say, that's such a good idea. Like, because I've never really seen that before. That's what caught my eye straight away. Like, as a user, like you said, because if you've never tried it before, and it's like,
how are you going to know? Yeah.
And then,
and I think that's.
Sorry, so go on, mate.
No, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so, like, if you've not tried it before and you don't actually know, rather than, buying it, because I'm assuming it's not in any shops or anything, is it just online at the moment?
Just online. Yeah.
So I think that's such a mint way to do it. And like you said, just order a little pot for free, pay postage, which I'm guessing is only like £2-3. And then you get it, try it, realise how good it is. But I was going to say, so, what is it more in terms of like in the shower, or like do you just put it on whenever, or what do you recommend?
So I always say to everyone, once in the morning, once in the evening. So that's always been a thing for me. Like, so, part of your morning routine, first thing in the morning, it's always like the first step in your routine. So for me, I recommend in the morning. I get a lot of people that do say they use it in the shower in the evening. Nothing wrong with that, but just as long as it's not like boiling hot water, so it's not causing your skin to be dry or anything like that. Because that can cause your skin to be dry and irritated as well if you're using like really hot water.
Yeah. So
just like lukewarm water, 10 sized amounts, twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Because I think a lot as well, I think something that's overlooked as well, and something that like, especially when I first started Clear for Men, like I was looking a lot at this. I didn't realize how much we actually sweat in our sleep as well. So we sweat a lot in our sleep, and then all of a sudden we wake up and like that's just all on our skin. And it's in our pillow, and it's the next night. Then it's do you know what I mean? So, I think it's really important to have that morning and evening skincare routine.
No, absolutely, definitely. Because I was going to say that's the cream I normally use. Don't know if you can see it on there. It's just like the big Nivea soft moisturizer. I'm sure it contains.
It's pixelated, but I know exactly what one that is.
It's like white. It's like a tub, and I just literally fucking put a dollop on my fingers and then fucking just smear it all over my face. And like I said, I'm probably doing it too much. A lot of the time, I'll get out of a steaming hot shower and then put it on, and then I do get like quite red, irritated bits on my skin, like on my cheeks and stuff and around my nose. So this has turned into an absolute fucking skin regime session.
I know, yeah. I might go and make a fucking pie or something.
Do you want to go make me like a hot lemon water and bring in a foot spa for my feet?
Yeah, so put those little things, between your feet.
Put some cucumbers on my eyes.
No, I may as well put cucumber on my eyes and fucking put some headphones on.
Right, no, sorry, I've been hogging it. Sorry, go on, mate. I'll let you ask some shit.
What was I going to say that was I better come up with something now. Fucking hell.
Put him on the spot now.
Yeah. But as well, Lou, I think investing in something that's like your skin is very, very worthwhile. Because if your skin looks good, you feel better, like emotionally, you feel better physically. You walk out with your chest out a bit further, and like you might look at your reflection and be like, fucking skin's looking next level there. You know what I mean? Like it gives you a bit of oomph in your step, doesn't it? So when my guy is buying fucking £2 moisturiser, no wonder he's still got fucking flaky nose and shit.
£2?
If you're gonna sort your skin out, like it's worth investing. Like we can beat the brand out that I use, because I'm probably gonna start using yours now, Luke, because I like you. So I use Lumin, which is I think it's Japanese, could be wrong.
It's Korean, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, is it Japanese? Yeah. I got into that about 3 years ago. And it's, like you say, very daily, like habitual. Like I don't even have to think about the sort of, I need to do my it's just like it's a autopilot type thing now. And I've got like the charcoal stuff, the like cleanser, the moisturizer and stuff like that, the body wash. And it is really worth sort of like investing into it, because you know when someone says to you like, fucking got flawless skin, you like, it's nice, it's a nice little like compliment. It's like, well, because I've put time into it, whereas if you know, if you're not,
mate, just because you buy fucking Lumen.
Do you know how we got it right? I use like a stepometer app, and you get vouchers for how many steps you get. And I walk like a motherfucker, so I get like bare vouchers. Most of them are just mundane, like shit that I'm never gonna get. And then this Lumen popped up, and I was like, get that for free. And then tried it, loved it, bought it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, might have to invest in yours, Lou.
Cool story, bro. Why don't you do your Urban Dictionary? You had an Urban Dictionary you wanted to swing by Lou, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, shit. Okay. Yeah, are you familiar with Urban Dictionary, Lou?
I am, yeah.
So we're going to, because you're a skincare brand, we're going to do a one tailor-made to that to some degree. So, what do you think we mean when we say the Philly facial? As in Philadelphia, the Philly facial.
Ooh.
whatever you're thinking, like times it by about 20.
Well, I don't know what it means either, so I might have a guess after.
Oh, have you not read it?
No.
Shock, my guy's not read the notes. I'm going to get you in a fucking headlock after
this. He hates it. Why do I need to read notes when I just come in and off the dome rattle skincare?
You come here, chat shit for fucking 20 minutes. I'm sat here fucking twiddling my ballsack.
With his lumen on. Lumen on his balls. Right.
I haven't got a clue. Not a clue.
Jay, any guesses?
What's it called again? Philly facial?
The Philly facial.
Well, the only thing that sprung to my mind was when you said Philly, as in Philadelphia. And it's a like Philly cheesesteaks, in it?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, is it something to do with like, I don't know, rubbing fucking...
It can't be cheese. It can't be cheese.
That's what I thought, like rubbing cheese rubbing cheese over your balls or something, getting your missus to suck it off.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
I think that'd be called like the hamster wheel or something like that. Not the Philly facial. So it's not.
Oh no, the facial, yeah, of course.
It's nothing to do with cheese.
Oh, steak.
No.
Right, I'm all out of guesses then.
So what about just think facial and then like amplify on that?
So it's to do with, is it getting like cum on your face?
Yes.
Is that it?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, because that's just getting your face cummed on.
Yeah, that's just a facial. This is the Philly facial.
Does it involve cowboys?
No. Cowboys are from Texas, you'd fucking numbnuts.
Alright, I'm so sorry for not knowing. You got any more guesses, Lou? I'm all out.
I'm all out. I do not have a clue.
Okay, let's put everyone out of the misery, right? So a Philly facial is when the male is getting sucked off by a female or male, and the male who is receiving said blower throws up on the person's head whilst they're getting knocked off, and then they pop up, and then the guy finishes in the face again, and then throws up again on the face, and then gets up and walks away without saying nothing.
What the fuck?
The saying nothing bit at the end is key as well. You know, just like leave them there.
So what's that got to do with Philly or Philadelphia?
I didn't make this up. I read it about 15 minutes ago.
That's hardcore, bro.
I know.
That is terrible.
Yeah,
So get that on your Tinder profile, Louis. Anyone up for a Philly facial? And whoever says yes, marry her. Okay, let's get back to the seriousness now. So, before you started the brand, Lou, like before lockdown, and say it's like 2018, 2019, like what was your life look like? Were you always focused on creating a business, or like where was your life heading?
Wow, it's actually quite crazy, John. So 2018 and 2019, I was still in school. I was in sixth form, so I was doing my A-levels. I was torn between whether to go to uni or do an apprenticeship. I went down the route of doing an apprenticeship, and I've just finished said apprenticeship. So,
what is it? Did you do business management, I'm guessing, or something like that?
No, completely different. Like engineering.
Wow.
Completely different. Yeah, completely different. So, like, that's the thing. It like everyone says to me, like, "Oh my god, this is such a crazy story because you've gone like completely 180." Like, I had no business experience. So I was just on a call with someone this morning, and I was like, "Yeah, I had no business experience when I started." The thing that actually drove me to where I am now, genuinely, I'm not even saying this, it's the passion behind the message. So, like, for me, I was like, I've got not a fucking clue how to start a business. Like, I was like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just going with the flow and just seeing what happens. Like, my content when I first started wasn't great. Like, it wasn't great. But I was like, but if I start now, I can get better and better and better. So, like, I look at it when I go live on TikTok. When I first started, I was shit scared. I was so scared of going live. But I don't know what people are going to say. Like, what are the mates here? You know what I mean? All these different things. And then now I go live. I did 12 hour live on Monday to raise money for mental health charities. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Like, I had such supportive people, so many supportive people on there, like helping me raise money, supporting me. And then I'm like, that's the passion. Like, so yeah, there are times where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Imposter syndrome definitely kicks in. But that's like, considering I have no business experience, I suppose the only way to learn is to do,
Absolutely, mate. And I think anything that is done with like a passion, I think it's really hard to fail because you've that invested into it, like emotionally and then obviously financially as well. But when you do something that you're ridiculously passionate about, it often doesn't fail.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well. Like you said, like, it's when you've got, like, for me, like, I'm never worried about, like, I would be happy, like let's say I had one product between now and 2030. Like, if that was the case, I'd still be happy because I know I'm still slowly building the brand up. So like, I'm not in a rush. And I think that's what I've learned. I think when I first started, I was like, okay, I want to have X, Y, Z by next month. And I was like, fucking slow right down. This isn't going to happen. And like, I remember when I launched, like, that was a very humble feeling when I launched, because I realized then, shit, I need to learn more about business, because I was like it was great, but like, I know this business can go really far, and I've got such a passion, and I know what I need to do to make it happen. So I was like, yeah, shit, I need to step my game up and smash it in the park kind of thing.
That's mint. And I remember you saying in lockdown you struggled a lot with like your own like mental health and stuff like that. Did you ever manage to identify what like the root cause of that was, or have you done any therapy to try and like get to grips with why you feel certain ways and some coping mechanisms and things like that?
Yeah, it's weird actually, because it was one of those things. So I think a few things. The isolation was a massive thing. I describe myself as like I don't know if I did it the right way around, like an extroverted introvert. Is that how you call it? Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
we're both one of them as well. Yeah.
Yeah, introverted, extrovert. I think it's like the right way around. I would, before COVID, like I was out all the time, like, like I wouldn't always like want to be social, but I would be up for it, and my life was just completely different. It was just completely different. I felt more like sociable. I felt like I was never like
conscious of other, like, I wasn't conscious of like thoughts of like, oh, like I said earlier, like being anxious about like, oh, have I said something on the podcast that should like might trigger people? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was never like that before, really. I've always been an overthinker, but like he was never to this degree, I suppose. And then lockdown happened, and I think he was just sat there and just like, that's where the isolation and the burnout felt, because I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere. And it was the same for all of us, wasn't it, really? I felt I wasn't going anywhere. And I just felt like I was really, like I actually still remember genuinely to this day, it was pretty fucked actually. But I remember going for a walk one late night, it wasn't late night, it was like 10 o'clock or something, like January 2021. And I remember it was the first time I ever reached out to my mates. And I was like, oh, boys, I need to let you know, I'm really struggling here. And like that for me, like I've never done that before in my life. I've never messaged someone to say like, I'm really fucking struggling here. And again, the worrying thing as well is like, you don't want your family to be worried about you, or you don't want to worry people about it. You want to get, so I was like, I want to speak about this because I don't want, it was a difficult time, and I think my mum was very worried about me as well. My mum was really worried about me, and I was like, well, it was just trying to talk. I just struggled to talk about it. So yeah, I got really burnt out, lost, sort of just felt like I lacked direction, and I feel like the whole thing just sort of completely changed me as a person, because when lockdown sort of lifted and restrictions eased, I just became this really anxious person. And I don't know whether that was because of COVID as a whole, whether I was worried about becoming ill, whether I was worried about passing it on to someone, and all these different things. It was just, my mind just would never stop. So again, it was causing even more burnout. And I just remember I would do things and my social battery would be low really quickly. And I think I was just like, it was like, I'm just a completely different person now, and it's like some things I'm blessed for, like, but I think, but some things I just think like, it's crazy how a few years have changed me. Like, so I think now, like, I'd never be this person if I hadn't gone through what I'd gone through.
Yeah.
Because I think I've always been aware of mental health, but it was the first time I'd actually experienced it, so I could never understand what people were going through. I could sympathize, but I could never really understand it. And for me, that was a big wake-up call for me, because I was like, this is shit. And like the stigma behind it as well, I was like, this is even worse. Because I was like, I feel like I can't talk. Because I was like, I can't talk. Like, why do I feel like I can't talk? It's fucking crazy, though.
That's one of the main reasons why we started up doing this, because we noticed, obviously it's a very known thing, in it, like, about men not opening up and feeling like they don't need to speak and stuff. But myself and Ryan, we was always like very open with each other about how we felt, but then not necessarily with other people. And then I think that's something that we wanted to try and change within ourselves, and that's kind of what encouraged us to do this, because we both had kind of like similar backgrounds with a lot of our issues, we believe, stemmed from like generational, like upbringings and how I was parented, and then it kind of bloomed more when we had our own children, and we noticed, started, repeating certain patterned behaviours. And I guess that's what encouraged us to start just talking more and, stuff like that. But it's literally the best thing, like you said. If you are ever struggling or feeling low or feeling shit, everyone responds to different things differently. But I just think the best thing you can do is like what you did when you went and told a mate, and just, and then you turn that into like a passion and, like fucking made like a business out of it and a brand. And, now, like you said, you even donate to, is it Mind that you donate to? And stuff? Do you know what I mean? That's amazing. Mind, it's so good.
Thank you.
I was actually going to ask something before. Yeah, I was going to say, so what made, because I don't think I've asked you this, what made it skincare then? Because did you say it was economics that you did in your apprenticeship? Sorry.
No,
engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah, sorry. So you did, obviously, you went through lockdown, mental health was a bit shit, did your engineering apprenticeship and all stuff like that, and then you've gone and made a class fucking skin brand and stuff like that, proper nice branding. So what kind of made you just go, I'm going to do a fucking skin brand?
It's so mad because so many people ask that as well. I think for me, what I realised is it was like a real key part of like self-care for me. Like I've always been a big fan of my skin, my skincare, and I think like when I was like 16 or 17, that's probably a bit younger actually, maybe like 14, 15. I did suffer a little bit with my skin, nothing major, but I did experience quite a lot of spots on my forehead, etc. But I think that's just obviously going through puberty and stuff like. But like I've just always enjoyed my skincare. I've always enjoyed it, and it was one of those things that just really. It sounds so, I don't want to say cliche, I don't know what the word is, but it's a great way for you to genuinely just wash away the day. So that thing for me was every single day, every single morning, every single evening. Like that was a moment for me to just connect with myself and get out of my because I was, like we always stuck in the same four walls all the time. But this was a way for me to just wash away the day and just have time for myself and not focus on being on my phone or anything else, just genuinely having some time for me. And that was like I said earlier as well, like I thoroughly enjoyed other aspects like cooking with my brother and exercising as well. Like these were all big aspects of helping as well. But the skincare part, I think there was definitely the two things I'd say was the passion for skincare anyway, and my enjoyment for it. Like I thoroughly enjoy my skincare routine, looking after my skin. Because like you said, like everyone sees your skin, and for me, like you said, it's a nice confidence booster, I think, in yourself. If you have got this, if your skin is looking good, you're feeling better in yourself, And I think for me, when I was feeling anxious, like that was hard to. It was hard to speak to people. It was hard. You become difficult to communicate with people because you are feeling anxious. You're in a shell kind of thing.
Yeah.
And for me, I wanted to break that and get people to feel more confident about themselves by just having that moment for themselves and not only actually improving their skin, but allowing them to fucking breathe because life is so busy. Life is so busy all the time. Like I think better today. Like today, busy doing work and stuff, and then I'm like, right, okay, I got to cook dinner. And this, and this. And in my head, I'm thinking, I look at that and I'm 23, but I haven't got kids. So I can't imagine how people, how people who've got kids, they've got to do school runs, they've got to go to work, they're trying to have a social life, they're trying to stay active, all these different things. And then it's like, well, like, how do they switch off? How do they actually switch off? And for me, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a reason for people to just take 5. And that's ultimately where the skincare aspect came from, because I feel like it was a great way to get. Thank you.
No, I was just going to say then, you switch off when the kids go to fucking sleep. That's when you switch off. So you fucking party, mate. No, but I was going to say, just going back to the actual skincare stuff, I know I mentioned earlier on, like I said, about like the cleansers and the toners and all stuff like that. And obviously yours is just one bottle, so is that just a little pump and fucking rub it all over and you're good?
Yeah, so it's like a facial cleanser. So what I always say to people is just like if you wet your face with lukewarm water and then you just dispense 10 pence size tonight and then just lather it over your face, just lather it over all areas of your face, allow it to soak in, and then just rinse it off.
Is that in a circular motion, Lou? Yeah. Exfoliating and all that.
Now who's fucking interested?
So it's not an exfoliator, not exfoliator. It would be like I'm trying to think of Lumen. I'm trying to think of what they use on the. I'm not sure because the charcoal cleanser is slightly abrasive, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends which one you get. I got the smooth one, without the little bits in that actually do. Like actively exfoliate, whereas this one's the smooth one, but you do it in the circular motion, sort of like try and get like the dirt out of your pores and stuff. Yeah, could be chatting shit, that's what it says.
No, that's it exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, but that's what my cleanser does as well. So my cleanser has got There's that. So yeah, it is literally just about 10 pence size come out. But it's the first step in the skincare routine. So yeah.
I'm definitely going to order a sample after this, and then
Thank you.
You know, if it fucking works wonders, I'm gonna.
We'll do a nice. Why don't we do a nice little reel of us, like, you know, like doing it, and like rubbing it and washing it off and shit like
we'll
that.
do one. I can't promise it'll be as good as that dude's on your page though with the fucking massive pecs. He's sexy him.
Honestly, he's an absolute legend. Absolute legend.
So, do you know him, or is he just one of your customers?
Yeah, well. I went to a networking event a few months ago. I can't remember when it was, and I met a woman, and then I met up with her, and she said that she knew someone that she thinks could help me with promoting my brand. So she was like, "Oh, do you want to send him a bottle?" So we had a chat and a call about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we'd love to. Just send me a sample. I'll give it a try." Because he was just like, "Look, he said I'm not being like thing, but basically I don't want to tell my audience because his content is very authentic. There's no sales, no salesy. It's not salesy at all. It's just him. And he was like, I don't necessarily feel comfortable promoting something that I don't think works. So he was like, so I'll give it a try and see, and we'll go from there. I was like, yeah, literally fine.
That's mint.
And he was like, oh, I fucking love this. Like, I love this. Love the message. I want to make a video. And I was like, oh, brilliant. But yeah, it's a fucking awesome video, absolutely. And that video, like genuinely, that video itself, fucking just blew up, absolutely blew up.
That's so good. See, that's just the power of it, innit?
Oh yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, we'll do a very rudimentary one and compare to that anyway. We always like to be a bit fucking. You must have seen some of our videos. Like, we're pretty fucking silly, to be fair.
We've not done any in a while, like no. You said, when you've got kids and shit like that, and then obviously we both work full time, we do this, it's hard, but we do have ideas like you know, to expand and all kind of stuff like that. But yeah, in terms of expanding, where do you see, obviously Clear for Men kind of going from here? I know you said you've got one product now and the aim is to do more and stuff. Do you eventually want to like get into shops or all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's I think what I've realised is, because I've slowly built up the community over time. I mean, what's it now? I'm not even 2 years in. So, but the community itself is actually relatively big. And I've got a load of people that have said to me, like, this is the next product that I want you to bring out. I'd love for you to do it. So a lot of people are like, I want to see an SPF moisturizer. And I'm like, that's my market research. Like, people are telling me what they want.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out and make something completely different. Like, if that's what you want, like, I'm gonna do everything to make this the best one. Like, and I'll, you know, so for me, that's the next stage. For me, I want to bring out some new products. There are also other things as well that I want to try and do. I just don't know whether I don't know how I would execute it, but I think it would be really impactful for me to perhaps go into like offices and like schools and like not talk about because I'm not necessarily qualified to talk about the ways in which you can tackle mental health, and I wouldn't want to give false information at all, but to actually just talk and raise awareness of it.
Yeah.
I think that would be really impactful. So I think that would be something that I would like to do and implement. Maybe just start in my local area and see what happens there. But I think doing that in perhaps schools, especially like exam season. I remember I was in exams. I fucking hated school in sixth form. I was so stressed all the time. I was stressed all the time. And in my head, I'm like, why am I? Like, I look back and I think, I can't believe how much I used to stress. And now I think, I hope that people don't stress as much as I did.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a horrible feeling. Because you feel you've got a weight of the world on your shoulders. And it's like all going on one exam. And in my head, I'm like, if I could go into schools and chat more about that, or go into workplaces and talk more about it, that's something I would like to do that's tying into me making a difference as well, because that's what I want to do. I want to try and make a difference as much as I can. So that's definitely something. Bring out some more products. I think that's mainly me, really. It's more about making a societal impact.
Yeah.
And perhaps bringing out maybe one or two more products and going from there. But I think in terms of going into like retail, I do like the idea. I like the idea. It's scary though, isn't it?
Where are you putting yourself? Would you thinking like boots, or would you be more like Selfridges, or?
Well, that's a good question.
Or like Look Fantastic, because that's all online as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Look Fantastic would be a good one. That's the thing. I think, and I see a lot of brands now. I mean, a few brands started. I know a few brands started probably 2 years before me, and they're now in places like Look Fantastic and all the like Beauty Bay and stuff. And I look at them and they even say like they tried so hard to get into these places, but they just constantly got rejected. And not because it's not because their products were good at all, but it was purely down to the fact that like it's so hard to get into these places. And like these are a lot like female skincare brands as well, or female cosmetics and beauty brands. Like they would try so hard, but they just couldn't get in. And now they're in. Like part of me does think, oh, maybe that's a good idea to go down as well, because I see a lot of people do that. I think, oh, maybe that's a good thing. Yeah. So I think an online retailer would be really good, because I think I see how things are going, and you know, I think online is sort of where I want to be, but I also think maybe in store as well. I just don't know where. But I think Boots and Selfridges would be a good one. Yeah. It's difficult. It is very difficult.
Yeah.
But I have thought about it. And I do think. I think it would be good to have. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think, like you said, there's no rush as well. Like you said, you've been doing it for fucking 2 years. And like you said, it's about, like you said, carry on building up all your following and stuff like that. So who makes these, and do you make them all and fucking tub them all up and shit, or?
No, so I've got like an NDA with a manufacturer. So basically, like how it is, you've got like if I can find a manufacturer, I got a really good relationship with both them and my packaging manufacturer as well. So we're constantly in communications with like updates and like shipment times and all this, that, and the other. So if anything changes, like I give this, I know straight away, kind of thing. But yeah, I ultimately just found a few manufacturers that I wanted to work with. I reached out to them, but then I found one that I was like, I really want to work with you. But then they also take a risk as well, because they're ultimately like, they want to look at me and go, right, okay, is your brand's, because it's difficult, because obviously like I've taken a lot of risk on by investing the money and the time into a business, but then also it's they also want to look at me and go, are you going to be a client that's going to constantly come back?
Yeah.
Or do you know what I mean? So and that was really hard as well. So that's a definite big hurdle as well. But the people I work with, they're fantastic. Absolutely, they're fucking awesome. Like they're so they were so helpful throughout the entire process, and I think that's what also made it really enjoyable. Like I absolutely loved the process from start to finish of building it. Because it was so nice to see like, oh, this is the label's finished and the box is finished.
Yeah.
And this is your first sample. I'd be like, oh, I can change this. Yeah, no worries, change this. This is your new sample. Okay, great. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, okay, amazing. We'll test it. And then it goes like 3 months worth of testing. So it's like, you look at it and think, oh, fucking hell, it's a long time, but it's so thorough, and that's what makes it, fills me with confidence then as well, because I wouldn't want to be working with a manufacturer that I was skeptical of, or wasn't sure, like, do you know what I mean? Or the communication wasn't good. Like there's shit hot on everything, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to say, mate, and this isn't being patronising or anything whatsoever.
No, yeah.
I think that you're amazing, and like for doing all that at the age that you are, you've got a fucking brand. Like you're so fucking level-headed and mature, stuff like that. Like when I was your age, mate, I was just fucking wanking into socks and playing FIFA. So absolute amazing, mate. Proper fucking sick guy. So well done on that.
Thank you very much.
Unreal, yeah. Where did you go about getting all the design and shit done for it then?
So I actually got so when I first started, like I thought of the name, I thought, oh yeah, I love. It was weird actually, because when I first thought of the name, I wanted it to be something that I think Clear for Men, for me, it was like, right, Clear Men, it's like the clear skin aspect, and also got the clear mind aspect as well. So there are two different things to tie into Clear for Men. And I was like, I love the name. So I originally got a logo mocked up by a designer, got that done, and I was like, yeah, I love it. And then I actually worked with another designer team in Newport, so where I'm based, and they are, I cannot sing their praise enough. They are awesome.
Yeah.
They are absolutely.
Because I was going to say, because
awesome.
a lot of people, when they do make a brand, they just think, I just need a logo. Like what you just said, you got a logo, but it sounds like you've gone back to this agency, whatever, in Newport, and they've given you a brand. And there's such a difference between a brand and a fucking logo, because so many people just go, oh yeah, I need a logo, and it's like, no, you need a brand. All the logo is the first thing that they see. That's just like the shop front, and then the brand is everything else, which knits it all together.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I found as well, because exactly it's the same thing like you just said. When I first started, like I remember I went to them and I was like, oh, you know, like I've got, these are all my ideas and this, and they're like, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, we love this. We'd love to work with you. And I literally remember going back to them, like it was kind of 2 weeks later, like it wasn't that long. And I sat there, and I was quite nervous at this, and they made me see, and they went through the whole slideshow. And I literally looked at them and I was like, fucking hell, this is awesome. I was like, this is fucking awesome. I was like, I love this. And I was like, this is everything that I've just told you. You've just gone and done it 10 times better. Like, and I was like, because everything that they took everything that I had in my head and just like, this is your brand. This is how we're going to do it. And I was like, I will continue to work with them as well, because they are absolutely fantastic.
That's so good. I love working with you too, because you seem like such a good client in terms of, like you said, because I've worked with people in the past where, like you just said then, they'll tell you exactly what they want, you'll do it, and then they'll be like, oh no, actually, da-da-da-da-da. Whereas it seems like, you know, like you have a good working relationship with them, so that's amazing. I'll have to check them out. You'll have to message us and let us know what they got.
He'll just be comparing notes, going, I could do that better, I could do this better, they're fucking shit. Definitely that's all he's doing.
Is it fuck? I just want to have a nose, mate, because he sounds sick.
Absolute bollocks. Well, I've got a final question for you, Lou. So, as with any like success in sort of ever, there is an element of like trade-off and sacrifice. So, like with like footballers, it's their Boxing Day training sessions or Christmas Day training sessions, New Year's Eve training sessions. Family time suffers.
Christmas Day, innit? A lot of them miss Christmas Day, don't
Christmas Day, yes, for the Boxing Day match and all that. So, what's been your trade-offs in order for your business to succeed?
Well, a few things, which is quite shit, really, because I think that's the thing as well. I'm actually saying this the other day on the live on TikTok. It's a very lonely place. Like if you're by yourself, YouTube probably experience it as well. You know, it's hard. It's very difficult growing something, and it's the time and sacrifice. And I understand why other people can't understand it. I understand that, because I would look at it from the next side and people say, oh, yeah, but if you just do that tomorrow, and I'm like, I can't. It needs to be done tonight. And like it's so many different things. You know, whether it's orders or whether it's this, whether it's and it's like it can be really like that in itself can have a toll on me mentally. Because, like I said, it has a serious effect on like relationships and time with like family, because you're having to sacrifice that time to ultimately for a dream that only you can see. Yeah. So that is really hard, and also mentally wearing as well, because you're so worried. You don't want all the other aspects in your life to go away, because I think ultimately then I'd be left with a thriving business, but I wouldn't be happy. Yeah. So it's like trying to have a balance of everything. Like I want to feel like I'm making a difference, and I want to feel happy and fulfilled, but I also want to be making sure that my relationships are, you know, also a priority, like spending time with my family and stuff, because I think that's what ultimately I struggle with. I struggle to switch off and be present. So like with my partner, for instance, or with my brother or with my family, like I can be there and I'm with them, but sometimes I'm not with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that can fucking suck, because I'm also thinking like I can't imagine how that feels on the receiving end of that. Yeah, I can't imagine. And then it becomes really difficult, because you want to make sure that you are there, but it's just, I think that's the thing. It's sacrificing a lot of family time and commitments. Like I don't see a lot of my friends anymore. Which again in itself can be quite isolating. But also we are also all growing up, and you know, a few of my friends have got kids, and they're trying, you know, everyone's just growing up and doing their own thing. So naturally, that just happens anyway, regardless of whether you've got a business or not. So I'm not too worried about that aspect, but I also do think, I don't see my friends a lot, and is that an element of my business and me? I have a mentor, and he puts it really well. Like, it's this idea of you need to work on your business, but not in it. So, and that sort of like changed my mindset with things, because I work so much and so hard on the business or in the business all the time that I used to become consumed by it. Like, I'd be actually consumed by it. Like, I would finish a day, I could have a to-do list of 15 things. But if I only did, but if I did 14 out of those 15, I would be like, that's a shit day for me. Like, should have done 15.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fucking hell, just chill out, man. Like, you might have had 5 things on your to-do list, and you only did one, but you did one.
Definitely.
That's 20%. Do you know what I mean? So, like, and I think that's what I'm learning to realize all the time is, like, I need to just, like, stop putting so much pressure on myself. I think that's where I'm struggling. I put too much pressure on myself, and then I'm ultimately burnt out from it, which can be really shite. Like, I think that's what I've noticed. So even though, like, and that's the thing, what I like about what I'm doing and the message that I'm conveying is, because I'm promoting self-care, it actually helps me, because I'm the one that's doing the self-care and creating the content around it, which is being that I'm constantly doing self-care for myself. So it's a win-win for me. I'm creating content that's around self-care, which is a good time for me to practice self-care anyway.
Yeah.
Whether it's going for a run or doing my skincare or taking 5 for the family and stuff like this. So that's what's really important. And I think it's just trying to find balance. But that's ultimately really hard, because I get a lot of imposter syndrome. So I can there's times where I will feel like, I will look at myself and go, I can't do this. I can't do it. Yeah, I mean, I will literally be like, this isn't working. But like, I think everyone gets it. Everyone gets it. I think, it's not working. Like, what can we do? And it can also be disheartening as well when you also have people that not that they don't necessarily believe in you, but they're not 100% sure. And I've learned to realize that's okay, because again, they don't understand, and that's fine.
Yeah. So
I'm happy with being patient and trusting the process and loving what I do, rather than rushing it to prove them wrong. Because
absolutely,
it's not about them, it's about me and what my aim is. So that's, I think sacrifice is it's a bittersweet thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it, really. It's a really bittersweet thing.
No, you described it perfectly, mate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, just quickly before we wrap up, I know you mentioned that you did a lot of cooking and stuff with your brother in lockdown.
Yeah.
Is your brother older or younger? Sorry.
He is older. He's 27.
Is this something that you'd maybe discussed doing the skin stuff together, or is he got his own skin brand and you're like direct rivals?
Opposite sides of the house, like.
Your brother's got a lumen.
So my brother actually works in marketing. So he works in marketing. So he is him and his partner are very helpful with ideas and drafting ideas for me. So I always know that if I need someone, or if I'm feeling shit and I'm worried, or I feel like I'm stagnant, I know I've got someone that I can speak to about it. So
yeah, that's good.
Fair play to him and to Harriet as well. Like, they're both brilliant at like helping me with that. So yeah, he works in marketing. It wasn't necessarily something we spoke about. We didn't really speak about it. It was just more like, not in any way as well. But it was just sort of, I don't think it really crossed my mind, because I think maybe in an element there was that thing of I wasn't sure whether, like, if someone else was to come onto it, whether they would necessarily want to. So maybe that was like an initial fear of rejection, maybe. But I never actually thought of it. But I think actually in hindsight, like looking back on it now, and like because me and my brother got like a lot closer during lockdown. And we're still very close now, which is really nice. So I look at it and think, in hindsight, I probably should have asked, because I think that would have been great. But ultimately, I know when my brother's like dreams and desires are anyway in terms of marketing. So I'm like, oh, go and chase that and do that. And he always helps me with anything that I'm stuck with anyway. So I think it's great in that aspect.
Oh, 100%, mate. It's your dream and your path. He didn't ask you to fucking go into marketing with him, so no, I'm joking.
It's true.
No, mate. Honestly, so I say, I know I've already said it, but you are fucking mint, and fuck the imposter syndrome, man, because you are absolutely smashing it. And I'm definitely gonna, as soon as we get off this call, I'm gonna fucking order a sample, and then, like I said, I'm gonna start ordering it.
I'll bow to peer pressure. I'll get one as well.
That's fucking I'll do, and then we'll do a little video as well, like a proper cheesy one, and we'll like tag you and shit. But we'll plug the shower here as well. Coming up to when we post, we'll be posting this next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So we'll do like the standard graphic and shit like that and tag you. But yeah, if you've got any closing messages before we finish to any of our followers or anything like that, plug your brand as much as you fucking want.
I don't know what to say. What do people usually say? I don't know what to say.
Well, we've already plugged the shit out of it anyway, I suppose. I feel like I've absolutely learnt loads about skin regime. Oh, I was just going to ask quickly before you're going to get an
I need a wee as well.
I was just going to say, so I know you mentioned earlier, it's in terms of, did you say, is the right word regime? I'm shit with words.
Regime.
Regime, yeah.
Didn't you say that's the first step of the regime? So
yes.
Do you use something else for your other steps then, like other brands or anything like that? I'm not asking to shout them out. I just mean...
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. So, I do at the moment. But I also find that what's good about doing that is I can find I can see what they do and try and make it better. So, yeah, I'll use like an SPF moisturizer and an exfoliator and that. Yeah. So, I for me, I'm like, this is actually quite good, and but how can I make it better? Like, so it's all these good things. Like, it's good for now, but what can I do to make this fucking great? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah. First step of the routine.
Yeah, nice.
Most important one as well. Well, really important one is cleanser. But also, and this will be the next step that I'll add, which I think will be arguably I say that is the SPF moisturizer, because obviously that's protecting the skin from the UV rays and all that. So I would say that is a really fundamental aspect as well.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, wear your SPF moisturizer, and I'll bring one out soon for you.
There we go. Heard it here first.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna message you anyway about what shit to use and all that kind of shit. But yeah, mate. Again, thank you so much for coming on. We've loved meeting you and all shit like that. And yeah, stay in touch, man.
Yeah, you too. Thank you both. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, you've been world class, Lou. We'll stay in touch, and all the best to you, your brand, family, everything, mate. It's been absolutely meant to have you on.
You too, guys. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.